Hey ladies and gents, Nathan here from Bastion Games, bringing you some product opening for the upcoming and newest Magic the Gathering set, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Absolutely beautiful set so far, and we have a big video for you. First, I just want to plug the store. It's bastiongames.ca. You can click on Shop Now if you want to buy singles. Usually all of our singles are in there by Monday after release, just because it's based off of TCG market prices, and those can be pretty volatile. I want to make sure everybody's getting a fair price for everything. We have 4 events, one on this Friday at 7 p.m. For pre-release. We have another on Saturday at 5 p.m., Sunday at 5 p.m., and the following Wednesday at 5 p.m. So tons of fun. The set looks absolutely gorgeous, and we have a lot to open, so I'm going to try and get right to it. Now, the format that we use might be a little bit different from what you're used to. So we have 6 collector booster boxes, and we've opened the packs, taken all the commons and uncommons out just because they take up tons of time, and the packs are actually kind of hard to open. So these are all the rares separated by pack in each box, and it was done face down, so I have no idea what they are. Plus, because you guys seem to enjoy it so much with Spider-Man, I didn't have time to review the set very much before I started opening. And I made a fool of myself. Everybody seemed to enjoy that. So I have no idea what cards Avatar has for the most part. On top of these 6 collector booster boxes, we're going to show you the contents of the Commander Bundle, and then the 2 scene boxes. And if we have enough time, we'll chop into a Jumpstart booster box, because apparently, according to my community, the Jumpstart boxes have some absolutely killer singles in them. So, all right, we'll start with the Commander Bundle. This is the contents of your Commander Bundle. You get a cool spin down Avatar life counter, and you have looks like a pack of land, all foil, bunch of packs. So we got collector pack, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, looks like. Normal play packs. We're going to open them all. And then this is, I believe, the commander-specific cards that come with this Commander Bundle. So, I brought trusty scissors just in case we ran into some difficult packaging. Now, let's see what we have. So, we have Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, which is absolutely phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Swiftfoot Boots. And I believe these are guaranteed in every single Commander Bundle. Worldly Tutor. Fierce Guardianship. I mean, that's pretty good. And just because I think this is all land, but I could be wrong. Someone said there's something about a promo card in each one of these things, or a special card. We will see. Let's go. So the land, they do a really good job. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, so you get one of each extended art. You get a bunch of regular land of each type, and then you get non-foils of both. Yeah. All right. So in the collector pack, I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you what we do with all our packs. So you go through until you find the land, the commons and uncommons, put them aside, and then you flip them inverted, turn them over, and that's what these piles are made out of. And so in this one, normally what I do too is for the collector boxes, I'll go through all the cards, the rares and mythics, and then I'll read out the best card in the pack, but usually the very last one. So we have the Forest, which again, these are, if you like Asian themed lands, those are pretty cool. We have Aang at the Crossroads, Baboon Spirit, Iroh, Dragon of the West, Heartbeat of Spring from the bonus sheet, and Realm of Ko, a land. So this one says, this land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Tap for black mana, or pay 4, tap it, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with this token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. Okay, that probably is going to replace basic swamp in a lot of decks. I like it. It's going in my win pile. So we're not going to open the play boosters. Just we might have a bit of a time constraint. We're going to go right into the collector boosters here. All right, so first box, we have a mountain, the Mechanist Aerial Artisan, Hibai, I might pronounce these totally wrong. Legendary Bear Spirit, Sozin Comet, Prosperity from the bonus sheet, and the Lion Turtle, which is a 3 mana, blue and green, 3 power, 6 toughness, Elder Cat Turtle. All right, it's legendary. It has vigilance and reach. When the Lion Turtle enters, you gain 3 life. All right. The Lion Turtle can't attack or block unless there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard. But it is a mana dork. Fair enough. Mountain. Boomy Unleashed. Crystalline Armor. Soka's Charge. We have a foil Bribery. That's so cool. And we have Aang Swift Savior. So this is a double-sided card, blue and white. It is a 3 mana, 2/3 human avatar ally with flash and flying. When he enters, airbend up to 1 other target creature or spell. So you can flicker it, or return it to the hand, sorry, as airbending. So you can waterbend 8 to transform him into Aang and La, Ocean's Fury. This is such a beautiful card. It's got 5/5 with reach and trample. Whenever Aang and La attack, put a +1/+1 counter on each tapped creature you control. That is a pretty slick card. A nice looking card too. Moving along, we got a forest. We got the Fire Nation Drill. We got Fire Nation Archers. You, the Moon Spirit. Warstorm Surge. And Great Divide Guide with the special border. They did such a good job with the art in this set. Like, the cards feel really soft. Great Divide Guide, 2 mana for a 2/3. Each land and ally you control has add 1 mana of any color. So obviously a strong card. Mana fixes all your land and makes all your allies tap for mana. Got Plains. Zhao the Moonslayer. Master's Guidance. Earth King's Lieutenant. Clone. Baifeng's Bounty Hunters. 4 mana, black, green, 4/4 human mercenary. Whenever a non-land creature you control dies, Earthbend X, where X is that creature's power. So you can start turning lands into, I believe it's lands into creatures. Aang at the Crossroads again. Storm of Memories. Crystalline Armor. Meteorite. And Zhao the Moonslayer. 2 mana for a 2/2 human soldier, legendary. It has Menace. Non-basic lands enter tapped. Pay 7, which is repeatable. Put a Conqueror counter on Zhao. As long as Zhao has a Conqueror counter on him, non-basic lands are mountains. So a cheap way to interfere with opponents and then hose them later on. I like it. Absolutely beautiful island. Boiling Rock Rider. Fire Nation Salvagers. Earthshape. Ooh, a foil Lightning Bolt. That's such a cool card. and Sozin's Comet. Each creature you control gains Firebending 5 until the end of turn. Also, has Foretell 3, so you can cast it for cheaper. Another island, except frozen one. South Pole Voyager. The Cabbage Merchant. Classic. Tui and La, Moon and Ocean. This is Earth Rumble Triumph, which is Return of the Wild Speaker. And Avatar's Wrath. Choose up to one target creature, then airbend all other creatures. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Obviously, it exiles this card because it's very strong. Secret Tunnel, Smeller Bee, Rebel Fighter. All right. Reckless Blaze, Cruel Tutor. That's such a zoomed up image of someone's face. This looks like the Squarrow deck boxes. And Redirect Lightning. So 1 red mana, instant lesson. As an additional cost to cast a spell, pay 5 life or pay 2. Change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. Ooh. Katara the Fearless. Soka Swordsmaster. Tiger Seal. Extended Art. Mayor Tong of Chin Village, also known as Draneth Magistrate. This is what I think of Draneth Magistrate when I see it. It's this guy. Yeah. And Katara, Water Tribe's Hope. 5 mana in blue and white. She's a human warrior ally, legendary creature. She has vigilance. When she enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Waterbend X. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX until the end of turn. X cannot be 0. Activate only during your turn. So feels very strong, as a repeatable ability to change the base power and toughness of your guys. So it has a bunch of restrictions, and the art is gorgeous. We got Avatar Token for Merit Lodge. Ty Lee, Chi Blocker. Monk Gyatso. Another Katara. Ooh, we got Valakut the Molten Pinnacle, foil. And Aang's Iceberg. 3 mana enchantment with flash. When this enchantment enters, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Waterbend 3. Sacrifice this enchantment. If you do, scry 2. So it's just Super Oblivion Ring. Look at the art. The art is so good. We got Tiger Seal. Fiery Confluence. Planetarium of Wan Shitong. Fevered Visions for the bonus sheet card. And we have Azula Cunning Usurper. An extended foil. So, Dimir colors, 5 mana, a legendary human noble rogue with Firebending 2. When Azula enters, target opponent exiles a non-token creature they control, then they exile a non-land card from their graveyard. During your turn, you may cast cards exiled with Azula, and you may cast them as though they had flash. Mana of any type can be used or spent to use. So this guy's going to be a rogue commander, you name it. Yeah. I mean, it's a little... Multiplayer, it's always tough to say in multiplayer because anything that targets just one specific guy, I think falls a little bit behind, but that might be because I'm terrible at Magic. Last pack in the box. We've got Abandoned Air Temple, Boomy, Eclectic Earthbender, the Unagi of Kyoshi Island, Empty City Ruse, and Elemental Teachings. Instant lesson. in green for 5 mana. Search your library for up to 4 land cards with different names and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest on the battlefield tapped. This is like Gifts Ungiven for lands in green with 1 more mana. I mean, it's not a bad card by any means, especially in Commander where you're going to have a whole bunch of good cards, and green has tons of land recursion from your graveyard. So you cast this, you're going to get the cards back from your graveyard anyway. So I don't know if 5 mana is on spot for it or a little weak. We will find out. So far, that's the first box. Doing good. Probably my 2 favorite cards out of there for sure. On to the second box. What do you guys think of the set so far? Post it in the comments. So we've got Waterbending Ascension, Tale of Katara and Toph, The Legend of Kyoshi, Taunting Challenge, Foggy Swamp Visions, mono black, 3 mana sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, Waterbend X. Exile X target creature cards from graveyards. For each creature card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of it. At the beginning of your next end step, sacrifice those tokens. So you have to do something with that the turn you use it. But if you have anything like Doubling Season or Parallel Lives in black and green, you're going to exile a bunch of stuff from people's graveyards. You're going to make tokens of them. The tokens that die will be the original tokens, not the copies that are made. I might be wrong, just the way it's worded. I'm sure someone's going to find a way of busting this card. Got an Island. Iroh Grand Lotus. Iroh, Dragon of the West, Ran and Shaw, Fervor, Fire Lord Azula. So Grixis Colors, Legendary Human Noble, Firebending 2. Whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Okay, that's good. It just doubles all your spells while you're attacking. And it doesn't say instants and sorceries. So if you have, I don't know, a clone that has flash or something like that, he copies it. Elemental Teachings. Water Whip. Cool Whip. We've got Azula, Cunning Usurper. Fire Nation Tank Train, also known as Noxious Gearhulk. And Iroh Tea-Master. 3 mana in Boros. Legendary Human Citizen Ally. When he enters, create a food token in red and white. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you may have target opponent gain control of target permanent you control. When you do, create a 1/1 ally creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on that token for each permanent you own that your opponents control. Yep, you're going to be giving people food and giving people crappy stuff. Sure. Firelord Zuko. Bison Whistle. Bloodbender's Rise, or Blood Chief Ascension, and Raven Eagle. 3 mana, 2/3 Flying Bird Assassin. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card is exiled this way, create a clue token. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's interesting. I understand why it's in black, but I wish it was in blue. Island, Avatar Aang, Tale of Momo, Katara the Fearless, Zuko the Redeemed, which is Risk the Redeemed, that's a good card pull, and Extended Art Foil Ran and Shaw. 5 mana for 4/4 Legendary Dragon that has Flying and Firebending 2. When Ran and Shaw enter, if you cast them, and there are 3 or more dragons and or lesson cards in your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of Ran and Shaw, except it's not legendary. It also has weird fire breathing for all dragons, +2/+0 until the end of turn for 4 mana. That's interesting. I'd probably use it. Forest, Katara, Water Tribe's Hope, Waterbender's Restoration, Desperate Plea, ooh, Mystic Remora, Foil. I don't know, that's a pretty good hit. And the art's amazing. Koi Fish. Suki, Courageous Rescuer. Other creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever another permanent you control leaves the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. This ability only triggers once each turn. Okay, fair enough. 3 mana for a 2/4 that does that. She's a human warrior ally. Probably won't make it into Flicker decks in non-standard formats. So we got Foggy Swamp Visions, Low and Lee Royal Advisors, Overwhelming Victory, Searing Blood, and Agna Kila. Probably butchering the pronunciation of this thing. So this is the basic land. Comes into play untapped if you control a basic land. Will probably replace an island. Taps for a blue mana, and it has pay 3, tap, draw a card, and then discard a card. So it's a looting island. Next pack, we got a Plains. We got Hakoda, Selfless Commander. Tectonic Split. Soka, the Tenacious Tactician. Join the Dance. And Phoenix Fleet Airship. And this looks like the schematics from, was it Brothers War? Phoenix Flight Airship, or Fleet Airship. It's a vehicle with flying. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrificed a permanent this turn, create a token that's a copy of this vehicle. As long as you control 8 or more permanents named Phoenix Fleet Airship, this vehicle is automatically an artifact creature, so it doesn't need to be crewed. Now, it's a vehicle that copies itself, so if you're killing stuff already, you're getting tokens that can fly. I don't know if I like it very much, but I mean, someone's going to kill me with it, and that's all that matters. For Aristocrats decks, it's so tight for card choices now. We got Appa Steadfast Guardian, Fire Nation Occupation, Obsessive Pursuit. We got another Valakut, non-foil. Avatar Destiny. 4 mana, an enchantment aura, enchant creature you control. The enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard and is an avatar in addition to its other types. When the enchanted creature dies, mill cards equal to its power. Return this card to its owner's hand and up to 1 creature card milled this way to the battlefield under your control. That is a lot of words on 1 green card. So basically, you turn 1 card into a threat. If that threat dies, you're guaranteed to get another threat on the board if you have a creature-heavy deck. But it suffers from the same thing that all auras do. If you go to enchant your creature and someone kills it in response, this thing just goes to the graveyard. But still, absolutely phenomenal art. And people are going to find some pretty good uses for it. Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. Lost in Memories. Soka Bold Boomeranger. Intruder Alarm foil. And United Front with beautiful art. So this is double white X sorcery. Create X 1/1 white ally creature tokens, then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I don't know if it's better than Secure the Wastes. You're basically creating X 2/2s and then pumping all your guys. We'll see. Maybe. Fire Lord Azula, Lost in Memories, Bastion Sea, Dockside Extortionist, and Airbender's Ascension. 2 mana enchantment. When this enchantment enters, airbend up to 1 target creature. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if this enchantment has 4 or more quest counters on it, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So it's flickers something, and then powers up and repeatedly flickers things. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to use this. 2 mana enchantment. You can flicker the enchantment if you need to as well, to flicker something else. Another Avatar's Wrath. Great card. Wan Shitong, All-Knowing. Firebender's Ascension. Agent of Treachery. And Abandoned Air Temple. This is the white version of the land cycle. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Add 1 white. Pay 4, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I mean, that's just... Wasn't there a green-white land from Innistrad block that was 4 mana, but it was green and white to put a +1/+1 counter on each thing? And it couldn't tap for colors? This is just a solid card. I don't see why you wouldn't use that in any deck that's running a bunch of white basic or a bunch of basics. All right. Box number 2 out of the way. 4 more to go. So far, like, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Spider-Man. I love stuff that meshes with the fantasy element of Magic a little bit more. I'm not really against Universes Beyond. Primarily, I want the cards to be good as a player and a store owner, because I need to sell this stuff, and I don't want to, like, I'm never going to sell someone something that's going to be bad for their deck or terrible product. Like, all Magic will sell eventually, but like, March of the Machines Aftermath, we sold out of a few months ago. It's probably been the worst selling set in recent history. This one seems pretty good. The bonus sheet is just on fire. So we have Zuko Conflicted, Smellerbee Rebel Fighter, Toph Hard-Headed Teacher, Volcanic Torrent, and Tiger Seal. 1 mana for a 3/3 cat seal with vigilance. Wow. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap this creature. Whenever you draw your 2nd card each turn, untap this creature. All right. We got Mountain, Bastion Sea, Duelist's Heritage, Soka and Suki, 3 Dreams, and Firebending Student. 2 mana in red for Human Monk with Prowess and Firebending X, where X is this creature's power. Huh. That seems strong. I'm glad it's not 1 mana, or it'd make me cry. Aang's Iceberg, Jet Rebel Leader, Secret Tunnel, Heartbeat of Spring, and Fire Lord Azula. And we've already done, actually, this exact version of the card, I believe. Beautiful card. Plains, Sandbender's Scavengers, Tui and La, Moon and Ocean, Earth and Ally, Fabled Passage with great art, Spirit Water Revival. 3 mana, blue sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may waterbend 6. Draw 2 cards. So 3 mana for 2 cards. If this spell's additional cost was paid, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw 7 cards, and you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Exile this spell. Huh. Swamp. Secret of Bloodbending. Tales of Momo, The Walls of Ba Sing Si, 030. Yeah, this is one of the cards I saw already. Defender decks. You don't really need to say anything about that. Visions of Beyond, and Hadoka, Selfless Commander. 4 mana for 3/5 legendary human warrior ally in white. It has Vigilance. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast ally spells from the top of your library. You can sacrifice Hakoda, Creatures you control get +0/+5 and indestructible until the end of turn. Solid ally card. The only downside is it's mono white, so you can't run it as your commander and then have access to a bunch of cool allies. Agna Kayla, Desperate Plea, Momo's Heist, Judy, Public Servant, or Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, which is absolutely sick. Sick card. Look at this. She's just smiling at you. I'm glad you pulled this card. The Legend of Yang Chen. 5 mana saga, mythic saga in white. Starting with you, each player chooses up to 1 permanent with mana value 3 or greater from among permanents your opponents control. Exile those. So in a 4-player game, they're losing 4 things unless 2 of them pick the same thing. Or more, actually. So you're going to get at least 2 permanents exiled for 5 mana that are 3 or greater. You may have target opponent draw 3 cards. If you do, draw 3 cards. And the third one, exile this saga and return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Please be something cool. Avatar Yang Chen. Oh, that is cool. 4/5 flyer. When you cast your second spell each turn, airbend up to 1 other target non-land permanent. Okay. That's interesting. Like, Saga decks are going to use this just because they can keep recurring number 1. And just keep exiling everybody's permanents. I like it. I might take it. The downside of being a store owner and being an avid player. Love this game. Sometimes it's a lot of angst having to bring some of these cards back to the store. All right, we got the Earth King, Soka Swordsmaster, the Lion Turtle, Beastmaster's Ascension for the bonus card, and Ba Sing Si, which is the green land. Pay 3, tap Earthbend 2, activate only as a sorcery. And it taps for green. I think that cycle, all cycles, land cycles for the most part, are really good. Realm of Ko, Nyla, Shirshu Sleuth, Firelord Ozai, the Cityscape Leveler. Oh, this is cool. That's such a good card. Fire Nation's Palace. This is the red one land cycle. So it comes into play untapped. You control any basic land. Taps for red. Pay 2. Target creature you control gains firebending 4 until the end of turn. So you're basically turning 3 mana into 4 mana, which isn't bad. Got Forest, Suki, Courageous Rescuer, Allied Teamwork, the Mechanist Aerial Artisan, Training Grounds. Ooh, that one's a cool one. Day of the Black Sun. Each creature with mana value X or less loses all abilities until the end of turn. Destroy those creatures. So for 2 black mana, you can pop every token on the board. If something is problematic, or you know your opponent has any spell that gives indestructible to all his creatures, you can do this and ensure that they all die. Ran and Shaw, Tui and La, Moon and Ocean, Tectonic Split, Rites of Flourishing for the bonus card, and Earthbender Ascension. 3 mana enchantment. When this enchantment enters, Earthbend 2. Then search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. Whenever a land you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. When you do, if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control against trample till the end of turn. Yeah, definitely. This is definitely something that you're going to see, maybe not in like bracket 4 or high bracket 3s, but depending on the price of this card, it's a solid card to put in any kind of landfall deck. Can turn any target into a threat. The Legend of Kuruk. So this is the blue mythic saga. So when it enters, on the first and second stages, scry 2 and then draw a card. So for 4 mana, if it stays, you're scrying 2, drawing a card, then scrying 2, drawing a card, and then it exiles and returns. So it turns into Avatar Kuruk. So 4/3, whenever you cast a spell, create a 1/1 colorless creature token with this token can't attack, can't block, or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. Exhaust. Waterbend 20. Take an extra turn after this one. Holy smokes. I mean, if you had infinite mana, this guy just gives you infinite turns. Oh no, it has exhaust. Activate each exhaust ability only once. My bad. So he has a single take an extra turn built into him. And then he scries and draws you cards. We'll have to test it out. Chong and Lily Nomads. 4 mana for legendary human bard ally. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. There are so many legendary cards in this set. Like, I have a limit on the number of commander decks I'm allowed to have. If I want to make another one, I have to take a different one apart. I'm definitely going to be building a Avatar deck. So it's a legendary human bard ally in red. Whenever one or more bards you control attack, choose one. Put a lore counter on each number of target sagas you control. Oh boy. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until the end of turn for each lore counter among sagas you control. Like, I know this is a good card. I just have troubles fitting it into a deck, right? Like, I feel like you just want another saga instead of this guy. Unless you're running like all the creature sagas that exist. So all the Final Fantasy creature sagas and all the Avatar creature sagas. And then they're all creatures and sagas anyway. That might be cool. Fang, Roku's Companion. The Boy in the Iceberg, which is Dark Depths. I need to get this foil. Wan Shi Tong, Librarian. So mythic blue legendary bird spirit. It has flash, flying, and vigilance. It also has X in the cost. When Wan Shi Tong enters, put X +1/+1 counters on him. Then draw half X cards. Rounded down. Whenever an opponent searches their library, put a +1/+1 counter on Wan Shi Tong and draw a card. What is this? Is this... What's the white guy? I can never remember off the top of my head. The white guy that does the same thing has flash whenever they search their library. Do it. So they basically just put this in blue and made it a massive threat. And it has flying. And it has vigilance. Holy crap. Best card in blue in the set, do you guys think? That's crazy. And it has the background like... Was it Bloomborough? Yeah, it was Bloomborough where the legendary creatures had that special background. That is a sick looking card. Just casually pull an amazing card. I didn't realize it till I read it. Earthen Ally. Last pack of the box. Toph, Earthbending Master. The Legend of Yang Chen. Elemental Bond. My Scornful Striker. 2 mana for a legendary human noble ally. First strike, whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life. Okay. That's solid. In red-black, you have a bunch of effects like that. Solid box. Halfway done. Man, I want to open more. I'm looking at the 6 boxes or the 3 boxes I have left and wishing that I had more to bring home with me. We ran into a bit of a snag with our one of the distributors in Canada, which is where I am. There's 3 distributors in Canada that had the rights to sell Magic, and one in the period of a day went out of business. And we had all of our pre-orders for Spider-Man and all of our pre-orders for Avatar with them because they were getting me lots of product. Yeah, so I had to scramble to get as much product from other distributors. I had missed the pre-order dates with them because I had ordered it all through the one that went out of business. So hopefully with Lorwyn Eclipsed, we have a lot more product. We've got Toph, the first Metal Bender, Aang, Air Nomad, Azula, Ruthless Firebender in black, Sundial of the Infinite, and Sozin's Comet. You've seen that one. The Last Agni Kai, Baboon Spirit, The Last Agni Kai, Mirror Wing Dragon. Why is this? Oh, this is from the bonus sheet. That is cool. I'm going to read it. 5 mana, Flying Dragon. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell that targets only this creature, that player copies that spell for each other creature they control that the spell could target. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. So it is a weird red dragon that you want to pair it with like goblins maybe? Something that makes a ton of creatures and then launch pump spells at your dragon. Or something along Double Strike or any of the evil red things that you could do that would affect all your creatures. We've got Ty Lee Chi Blocker. 3 mana in blue, legendary human performer ally. It has flash and prowess. When Ty Lee enters, tap up to 1 target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Ty Lee. I like it. Absolutely. And then if you need to, if something that is a bigger threat comes in, you could flicker this. I like it. I'll use it. Say that a lot. Aang's Iceberg, Lion Vulture, Smeller Bee, Rebel Fighter, Black Sun Zenith, and, ooh, what is this? There is no text. This is, and it's definitely textured. So we've got Katara the Fearless. Holy smokes. Now, I'm just going to put this aside. And when we get to another Katara the Fearless, because I don't remember offhand what the card does, we'll pick that one back up. But probably the hit out of the case, I would say. Even if the card isn't great. That, like, look at this. This looks amazing. How many cards come like this? And do I need all of them? We have Mountain, Planetarium of Wan Shitong, Storm of Memories, Mai and Zuko, another Bribery, and Obsessive Pursuit. Absolutely gorgeous art. 2 mana black enchantment. When this enchantment enters, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. Whenever you attack, put X +1/+1 counters on target attacking creature, where X is the number of permanents you sacrificed this turn. If X is 3 or greater, that creature gains lifelink until the end of turn. All right, this is like the closest thing I can think of is Proth's Eidetic Memory. 2 mana enchantment that has an ETB effect of drawing a card. And when you go to combat, Every card you've drawn after your first card of the turn turns into +1/+1 counters for target attacking creature or target creature. So this one is the black version of that, as far as I can tell. Solid card. I'll use it. It gets my stamp of approval. The Lion Turtle, Avatar Kyoshi, Earthbender, Fire Nation Salvager, another Cityscape Leveler, can't complain about that, and Toph, the first Metal Bender, in Naya colors. So 4 mana, legendary human warrior ally. Non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types. At the beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2. That is a really interesting card. And it's a 3/3. So they're all lands, and then you can turn them into creatures with the earthbending ability. Now, does this mean they still can't tap for mana, right? Because it doesn't tell you what kind of land they are. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if I'm screwing that up. We got Diligent Zookeeper, Jet Rebel Leader, Aang Swift Savior, Aang Shelter, which is Teferi's Protection. Holy crap. Like, imagine this foil. And the Unagi of Kyoshi Island, which has another one of those cool Bloomburrow creature backgrounds. So 5 mana for a legendary serpent. It has Flash, Ward, Waterbend 4. So they can tap their creatures to pay the waterbending cost, or just pay it. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw 2 cards. I like it. I like it. Plus it's a serpent. If you have a sea creature deck, ooh, baby. This guy's awesome. And it has Flash. Disgusting. I love casual cards. I have a single CDH deck, and I'm terrible at it. And then I have like 30-something casual decks that I love. Constantly update. Got Bifong's Bounty Hunter, Chakra Meditation, the Fire Nation Drill, Tarnished Citadel, Soka Bold Boomeranger. So he is it colors, red and blue, legendary human warrior ally. He's a 1/1, so he's a tiny little guy. When Soka enters, discard up to 2 cards and then draw that many cards. So discard 2, draw 2. Whenever you cast an artifact or lesson spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Soka. Huh. Cute little guy. We got a Swamp, Yui the Moon Spirit, Azula Ruthless Firebender, the Earth King. What is this? The Mechanist Tactical Tinkerer, which is Lita Mechanical Engineer. 3 mana for a legendary artifact creature artificer with vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, untap each other artifact you control. Okay. Pay 4 mana, tap, create a 5/5 colorless vehicle artifact creature token named Zeppelin with flying and crew 3. That's cool. And this is bonus sheet. Sorry guys, I read it anyway. And Aang at the Crossroads. In Bant colors, 5 mana, human avatar ally, has flying. When he enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can put a creature card with mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. And he's a 3/3. When another creature you control leaves the battlefield, transform Aang at the beginning of the next upkeep. So not your upkeep. So you play this guy. You reveal 5 cards. You slap a relatively cheaper creature, so smaller than him in mana cost, onto the battlefield. Somehow you sack a creature, return a creature to your hand, opponent kills a creature, although they probably kill this guy. And then he transforms on the next upkeep. So you pass the turn and you get Aang, Destined Savior. Legendary creature avatar ally. Flying 4/4 land creatures you control have vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Earthbend 2. So he just turns into a dude that makes vigilant land creatures. I don't know. Maybe flicker him a bunch? It seems to be my answer for all ETBs. We got Avatar Aang, a Bison Whistle, Foggy Swamp Vision, Mirrorwing Dragon, and Yui the Moon Spirit. 4 mana for a legendary spirit ally. Flying and Vigilance for 3. It's 3/3. It has Waterbend 5 and tap. You may cast a non-creature spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Like, does that feel... That feels odd? Oddly strong? Like, I play Omniscience for 5 mana? Or less if you tap your creatures to pay for it? Yeesh. Great Divide Guide, Overwhelming Victory, Elemental Teachings, another Judy, Public Servant, the Mechanist Aerial Artisan. 3 mana for a legendary human artificer ally. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a clue token. That by itself is awesome. Any kind of clue deck. And I'm sure, I mean, it's not super hyper competitive or anything like that, but this card just is an auto-include in it. Until the end of turn, target artifact token you control becomes a 3/1 construct artifact creature with flying. So you can attack with said clues, and he just makes clues. I like him. Toph, Hard-Headed Teacher, Chakra Meditation, Wartime Protesters, Beastmaster's Ascension, and Soka, Tenacious Tactician. So this one is in Jeskai colors, blue, red, white, 4 mana for 3/3, legendary human warrior ally. He has Menace and Prowess. Menace being you buddy block. You need 2 or more creatures to block him. Other allies you control have Menace and Prowess. If this didn't exist, people are going to use it. Like, that's insane. So if you have a creature with an ally with Prowess already, now it has Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. This guy is savage. This might be my commander of choice from this set. Got Swamp, Unagi of Kyoshi Island, Reckless Blaze, this last one of the box, Waterbending Restoration. We have Lifelong Friendship, Eladamri's Call. Instant, search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, put it into your hands, and then shuffle. That is the bonus sheet card, followed by Waterbender's Ascension. 2 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on this enchantment. Then if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, draw a card. Waterbend 4. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Like, that goes in ninjas. That goes in tons of stuff. Anything that, if you have an unblockable deck, rogues, it goes in rogues. The important part being, it doesn't say whenever 1 or more creatures you control, forcing you to attack multiple different people to get, in a 4-player game, 3 quest counters on it maximum. If you have 6 1/1 unblockables, you're getting 6 counters on it. And in fact, the 4th counter on it will draw you a card, so will the 5th, and so will the 6th. Absolutely solid at a rare, so this card's going to be easier to get than Mythics. Bananas so far. Having an absolute blast with this set. Again, my only regret is I don't have more collector packs to open. All right. We've got Forest, got Raven Eagle, Avatar Roku, Firebender. The Legend of Roku. Heroic Interventions on the bonus sheet too. Okay. And Diligent Zookeeper. 4 mana in green for a 4/4 human citizen ally. Each non-human creature you control gets +1/+1 for each of its creature types to a maximum of 10. Well, if this guy had been legendary and maybe a couple colors. I know it's a stretch. This is the best friend of every changeling known to man. He just reads, changelings get +10/+10. That's crazy. And very flavorful. Love the card. Iroh Teamaster. Suki Kyoshi Captain. Soka Swordsmaster. Hey, a foil Heroic Intervention. Oh, all right. I'll take it. Fire Lord Zuko with amazing art. So this is Mardu colors. Red, white, black. Legendary Human Noble Ally. He's a 2/4. He has a big butt. He has Firebending X, where X is Fire Lord Zuko's power. So the higher the power, the more red mana he makes. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, and whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Oh my goodness. Yep. Cascade, you name it. Tons of stuff. Secrets of Bloodbending. Fire Nation Sentinels. Spirit Water Revival. Rending Volley. Oh, that's cool. Earthen Ally. 1 mana for a 0/2 green human soldier ally. This creature gets +1/+0 for each color among allies you control. And then he has pay 7, Earthbend 5 as a repeatable ability. So he could be a 5/2 for 1 green mana. Day of the Black Sun. Baboon Spirit. Toph, Greatest Earthbender. Another one of the Mechanist, Tactical Tinkerer, non-foil. And the Legend of Kuruk. We've seen this one already. This one's turns into Avatar Kuruk. Yep. With a take an extra turn. Beautiful card. Earth King's Lieutenant. Nyla Shearshu. Sleuth. Shearshu. Baboon Spirit. Another Rending Volley in foil. And followed by Boiling Rock Rider. So this is 3 mana for 3/3 human rogue ally with Firebending 1. So he's going to make mana when he attacks. Tap an untapped ally you control. Exile target card from a graveyard. Okay. Whenever this creature attacks, you may cast an ally spell from among cards you own exiled with this creature. That's an interesting way. So he's in an ally deck. He's the recursion, which means outside of an ally deck, he's useless. Except for, I mean, I guess he lets your ally deck. No, even outside of an ally deck. Ah, this is the black card that you don't want to get, the black rare. Unless you're playing allies. And then you need one. Avatar Destiny, Fire Nation's Occupation, Aang's Iceberg, Eladamri's Call, and Iroh Grand Lotus. So we have, it's in green, blue, and red. 5 mana for a 5/5 human noble ally with Firebending 2. During your turn, each non-lesson instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to the card's mana cost. During your turn, each lesson card in your graveyard has flashback. A 1 colorless, or 1 generic. Okay. If you want to cast spells from your graveyard, this is the guy. Katara, Water Tribe's Hope. Fire Nation Salvagers. Zuko Conflicted. Standstill. Oh, God. I remember back in the day, we did like this grand melee for just casual Magic. We had like 24 players in one game. Terrible idea, I know. Someone played Standstill, and everybody passed their turn. I think it was 3 times. Like, the guy was so frustrated. We got Suki, Courageous Rescuer. 3 mana for a legendary human warrior ally. Other creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever another permanent you control leaves the battle. Oh, we've read this one already, sorry. Yeah. Good card. Good card. Firebender's Ascension. Monk Gyatso. Fire Nation's Palace. Blasphemous Act. White Lotus Tile. Ooh, it's a mythic. 4 mana artifact. This artifact enters tapped. Tap, add X mana of any one color where X is the greatest number of creatures that you control that have a common type. So if you have 6 goblins, you could tap for 6 mana of any color. If you only have 2 goblins, it taps for 2. So this is entirely dependent on having creatures in play. So some people are definitely going to see this as a drawback because post board wipe, this does nothing. It doesn't tap for anything. Now, you wanted to ramp this thing up and bust it, make it say tap for X mana of any one color where X is the greatest number of creatures in play that have a creature type in common. And if someone recovers faster than you, you could use it for mana. Aang, Swift Savior. Zuko, Firebending Master, as I drop it. Raven Eagle, Insurrection. And here we go, Katara the Fearless. Oh, look at this thing. Such a beautiful card. 3 mana. Oh, this is the SDC promo card. So if a triggered ability of an ally you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. That's savage. Savage card. Fire Nation Palace. Desperate Plea. Swamp Benders. Force of Negation with some brilliant art. And Sandbender Scavengers. 2 mana in black and white, Orzhov. It is a 1/1 human rogue. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. All right? When this creature dies, you may exile it. When you do, return target creature card with mana value less than or equal to its power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's going to let you reuse on one of your creatures once in a chain, if you use it in the right order in chain. So I'm going to give this thing 3 out of 10, arbitrarily, because it doesn't fit in my Aristocrats deck. Wartime Protesters, Tectonic Split, Chakra Meditation, Treetop Village, and the last Agni Kai. 2 mana instant. Target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. If the creature the opponent controls is dealt excess damage this way, add that much red mana. Until the end of turn, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Okay, so if you have something huge and you punch something small, this gives you mana. And if you don't, it doesn't. Average. Soka, Tenacious Tactician. Nightmares and Daydreams. Zhao, the Moonslayer. Another Insurrection. You guys ever, like, throughout all these boxes, we've been getting, like, the same card. Again, like the same bonus sheet card. Momo, Friendly Flyer. Lemure, Bat Ally. So it's legendary, it's 1 white, and it's a 1/1 flyer. It's also the first Lemure. The first non-Lemure creature spell with flying you cast during each of your turns costs 1 less. Whenever another creature you control with flying enters, Momo gets +1/+1 till the end of turn. Okay. So in white decks, I mean, I guess this is I mean, it's not an angel, but you could use it in an angel deck to make angels cheaper. Maybe. Another good box. Last box. Here we go. We've got United Front, Aang Airbending Master, Waterbender's Ascension, Black Sun Zenith Foil. Such a cool looking card. And Secret Tunnel. This land cannot be blocked. Okay, it's also a cave. Taps for a colorless mana. Pay 4, tap 2 target creatures you control that share a creature type can't be blocked this turn. Yeah, so sure, it doubles up on a previous card. Also, the land can't be blocked. So if you earthbend this thing, it's unblockable. Kind of cool. Azula Cunning Usurper. The Cabbage Merchant. Ty Lead Chi Blocker. Release to Memory. And the Fire Nation Drill. 4 mana for 6/3 vehicle with crew 2. It has trample. When it enters, you may tap it. When you do, destroy target creature with power 4 or less. Okay. Permanents your opponents control lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. I like it. I don't like the fact that it's limited to creatures with power 4 or less. But Firebending Student, Fang Roku's Companion, South Pole Voyager, the Great Henge, the Banyan Tree. I mean, now I want this one again to show up foil. A couple cards in. And the Earth King. 4 mana, green human noble ally. It's a 2/2. When the Earth King enters, create a 4/4 green bear creature token. Whenever one or more creatures you control with power 4 or greater attacks, search your library for up to that many basic land cards and put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Whoa. So in a Power Matters deck, this guy hits the table. You attack with a bunch of 4 power or greater, which in mono green isn't tough to do. To have possibly 2 before this guy hits the table. And then you just get a bunch of land, which makes it easier to cast huge creatures, which then get you land when they attack. I like this. Plus the art's beautiful. And it gives you a bear. So it's 4 mana for 6 power and toughness. Earthbending Ascension, or Earthbender Ascension. Fang, Roku's Companion. Master's Guidance. Scout's Warning. And Realm of Ko, which is the first one we opened. Soka, Bold Boomeranger. The Terror of Serpent's Pass. Toph, Earthbending Master. Sundial of the Infinite. That's the best art I've seen for Sundial of the Infinite. And Earth King's Lieutenant. 2 mana for a 1/1 in Selesnya, green-white. Human Soldier ally. He has Trample. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each other ally creature you control. Whenever another ally you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So that's very similar to Avacyn Restored. Had a white guy that did that for soldiers. 2 mana, mono white. This guy has Trample and does it for allies. So if you build an ally deck, obviously on those colors, that guy's in it. Redirect Lightning. Iroh, Dragon of the West. Nyla, Shirshu Sleuth. Shattering Spree. The Legend of Kyoshi. So this is the green one that turns into the Avatar of Kyoshi, I'm assuming. Yep. 6 mana, so it's a little bit more expensive. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. That's solid. Second one is Earthbend X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. That land becomes an island in addition to its other types. Okay. In mono green. Sure. Exile this saga and return to the battlefield transformed. Lands you control have trample and hexproof. Add X mana of any one color where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Like, that sounds good. This thing sounds good. I don't know if I like that. Yeah. Who am I kidding? Airbender Ascension, Reckless Blaze, Avatar's Wrath. Ooh, there we go. The foil and shelter. So this is Teferi's Protection. Man, they did a good job with the foils. And Jasmine Dragon Tea Shop. First time we've seen this in extended foil. So it is a land that taps for colorless mana, or tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an ally spell, or activate an ability of an ally source. Pay 5, tap, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. So in every ally deck known to man. Firelord Zuko, Suki Kyoshi Captain, Realm of Ko, Lightning Bolt, and Ozai the Phoenix King. He is 6 mana. This guy better be good. In Rakdos, he is a legendary human noble, and he's a 7/7. Okay. With Trample, Firebending 4, and Haste. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead. Ozai is flying indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. Okay. You sold me. This guy's good. I like him. Plus the art is so cool. He looks very angry. My Scornful Striker, Bison Whistle, Tale of Momo, Intruder Alarm, Wartime Protesters. Oh, this is the last card. So 4 mana for 4/4 human rebel ally with haste. Whenever another ally you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, and it gains haste. So as we're going through this, you're going to see a bunch of cards, and they're going to be like, hey, wait, that is exactly like, and the answer is yes. They've just taken a card and adapted it to be for allies, which is good. It's going to be a solid creature type. Ko, the Face Stealer. Oh, man. I wish I had this guy in the special art. 6 mana for a legendary shapeshifter spirit. When Ko enters, exile up to 1 other target creature. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may exile it. Pay 1 life, choose a creature card exiled with Ko. Ko has all activated and triggered abilities of the last chosen card. That's very thematic for this guy. That's for sure. Solid card. The Blue Spirit. Toph, the First Metalbender. Noxious Gearhulk, Fire Nation Tank Train, and Firebender's Ascension. This is the 2 mana cycle for red. When this enchantment enters, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token with Firebending 1. So 2 mana for a 2/2 with Firebending 1. Whenever a creature you control attack and causes a triggered ability of that creature to trigger, put a quest counter on this enchantment. Then if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, you may copy that ability. You may choose new copies. So this card will be in every Ishin deck known to man. Ishin doubles attack triggers anyway. So with this. This is solid. Solid card. I think 2 packs left. Momo Friendly Flyer, Master's Guidance, Monk Gyatso, Sunbaked Canyon. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if the entire cycle's in there. South Pole Voyager. 2 mana for a Human Scout ally. He's a 2/2 in white. Whenever this creature or another ally you control enters, you gain 1 life. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, draw a card. Why does this have to be allies? I would kill for this card without the ally on it. Man. Last pack, Spirit Water Revival, Chong and Lily Nomads, Firelord Zuko, Non-foil Mr. Remora. And Toph the Hard-Headed in Groll. 4 mana, red-green, 3/4 human warrior ally. When Toph enters, you may discard a card. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1. If that spell is a lesson, put an additional +1/+1 counter on that land. Okay, that's interesting. What do you guys think so far? I love it. I'm going to spend most of the day sorting cards for Friday because we sell our singles in our store. But I think we got like 5 or 10